The 11s, man, nobody even gave a fuck about those. You know, and I was in the era of when they released the low top red and white joints, the Carolina joints. You know, then you had the silver joints, which was for girls. And in my era, you couldn't wear no shit like that because you will get talked about because niggas know that's a girl Jordan. So that's the part where it's like, damn, people going insane over these shits. Even the snakeskin motherfucking J's that came out, like the color, they gave us the green color. If I'm correct, it was more of a bluish kind of color that came out in my era. If I'm correct, I don't remember no green joints, but I could be wrong because I didn't fuck with no lows back then. But I don't know. I just see this shit and it's like, man, niggas get killed over shoes, and that I never understood that. I thought that was crazy. Even coming up when I was like, you know, you had niggas that would probably they beat up people and take their shit or be at the mall. The main thing was being at the mall. They see you, snatch your bag. I never got none of my shit took, but I'm not saying that to be tough. I'm just saying I never got my shit took. And you had to be there with everybody you went to school with because shoes didn't always release on a fucking Saturday. They release on a school day. Niggas cut school to go get them. So by the time it was lunch, niggas know that if you had them or not. When you see certain motherfuckers not there, you see them hitting the fence, come back to school, that's what's up. And mind you, this is seventh, eighth grade. You know that I'm talking about niggas cutting school. That's why I'm saying like it's different. And it wasn't just J's back then. The Griffies, them Nikes that had the air on the side though. A lot of shit, man. We actually had Team Jordan and shit, but it's just like with J's, it's like people. That's what I'm saying. You had a variety in seventh, eighth grade. Some people got on J's, some people got on Griffies, some people got on this, some people got on Iversons. And Iverson was huge and when I was in seventh, eighth grade, pause, but his shoes was dope as shit. Y'all just now get, I mean, we had the ugly joints, I think, by the time he got up there with his, like, what was it, fourth, fifth shoe or some shit like that. A lot of them was ugly, but at the end of the day, I didn't fuck with them. I didn't like Reebok. So I never had no Reeboks unless it was the pumps back in the 80s. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't know, in the 90s and shit. But as far as J's, what was my first pair of J's? Like, I grew up in a household where your parents weren't paying that type of money for some shoes. I probably didn't get a pair of J's until I was what, 15, 14, 15, somewhere along them lines. Like I was went to Job Corps, so I think it was 15s. It was the 15s. The first pair of J's I ever had was like the 15s. No, it wasn't even them. I had the nines when them came out. Them Flint Grade nines. I had the nines. Let's just say the nines. You know, the first pair I bought or whatever. So that was them. You know, then 15s and shit like that, 16s, 17s, 18s. But a lot of them shits people didn't give a fuck about. The 200s is what I call them, but y'all call them the 17s. But yeah, that was like the first Jordan. That was like $200. I bought two pair, the black ones and the red white ones. I said this before, but I'm just getting to a story. So at the end of the day, you look at shit and you be like, the shit that people really go crazy for was considered whack in my era, and the shit that I want to see, and none of that shit came out. So you gotta imagine if I wanted the 17s, I can't even get them, and I had both with the suitcase joint. You know what I'm saying? With the nines, I wanted the Flint grade nines to come back out. They did, but they gave them to girls. So imagine like that. Every Jordan that I ever bought, it has a significance in my life. It was a different time. It was something I was going through, good or bad. So that's why with certain shoes, I don't really fuck with retros because it's not the shoes coming out that meant something to me. Now, as far as me buying shoes because I never had them, that's that. But I only honestly only needed what, two more numbers, and then I had every Jordan from 1 to 18. I think it was a fucking, wasn't a two? It's a two. I had a five, two, 6, 11, 14. No, I got a 14, 15, 6. So basically, yeah, those first couple numbers that I still ain't got. And for you motherfuckers saying he hired shit, he can't remember what he said. It's the two. I had a five, two, 6, 2 and 6. I think that was it. That I ain't had from 1 to 18. Cause I had a pair of 11s before when they first came out. Like, yeah, well, I said the second time, like the black and red joints. So I had those. I got two 12s, two 13s. two 14s. I had a 15, 16, 17, and 18. So yeah, them the joints that I basically need. But other than that, every other Jordan I was buying is because I never had the number. So what I'm saying is, say buy shit you want, like I was saying, and what you like. But every shoe that I want that means something to me haven't came out in the colorway. And this colorway I ain't even had yet, but I'm just saying. Me and the Concords have a bad relationship. For some reason, I still can't get those. I refuse to pay resale. Um, what's another shoe that I can't seem to the breads, me and the bread forwards have a bad, you know what I'm saying, relationship. I can't seem to grab those. Mind you, I always had the money for them, but it's just this hype. You know, we didn't have hype in our era. Shit still was on shelves when you got out of school. You can go damn near 2 days later and they'll still have them. So that's the problem where it's like when people ask why you don't buy shoes, it's not worth it. Even if you know people now, like that work at a shoe store or something, I mean, it's cool a nigga look out for you, but me being me, call it what you want. I ain't giving a nigga extra anything just for holding me a shoe. I don't give a shit if he take his own money and buy it. I mean, we cool, but we ain't that cool. I wouldn't do that for if I had a fucking cousin that worked in a shoe store. Cause you, my cousin, then you better give me them shits. Like, you know what I'm saying? I buy some other food, not weak shit, but I buy some ones or something like that. That's Air Force Ones, if y'all already know. But give me the J. So I ain't really into that resale shit or hooking somebody else up, hooking me up. Cause it's like you ain't really doing me no favors with niggas that I don't know. Sometimes with that resale shit, they'll make it sound like they're doing you a favor. But it's like if you only knew I didn't give a fuck about the shoe from the jump, I just want to see if I can get it because I know somebody. It's just like me if I worked in a shoe store. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You dig what I'm saying? Like here, I bought it. That's your size. Give me the bread for it. I ain't gonna charge you extra 40, $50 for what? I ain't trying to make a come up. You want them, I don't. But I have a chance to get them where it's no problems. But niggas don't look at it like that. It's a business. I get it. But at the same time, what are you losing if you buy the shoe and give it to me and I'm gonna give you the money you pay for it? I'm gonna give you an extra $40, $50 for what? You was gonna get the shoe anyway. You didn't want it. You dig? But I'm just different. I guess I'm more cooler in a sense, but to resellers, I'm kind of lame. But that's what makes shit different. When we was like, say, y'all like what, 18? Some of y'all younger than that. From 13 to fucking 18, we niggas I grew up around care about other shit. Like buying. If you're a street nigga, you already know what you do with your money. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do in the street, make a little money. You always get fresh. That's that. But you was concerned about staying free and not getting killed. As far as the niggas that went to school, you already know what it is. You worked for your shit. You got them, or you had spoiled parents that spoil you and buy it for you. That don't count because you're gonna get it regardless. So, but then you got people like me that just really, mom didn't, she didn't give a fuck about that type of shit. I mean, I still was good in school and shit, but I'm just saying, just she taught you that you get shit because you want it, not because you want to make other people happy. Like I was saying in the other joint, you know. And then once you realize that, it's like, man, that's crazy. For people that's new to the channel, I can give you a quick story of a shoe when it came out. The Carolina Blue 14s. I did bad in school. They was coming out. I had the bread. My mom told me, you bet not buy them shoes. You got to remember, she gave me the money for them. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's my money, I can do what I want with it. The agreement was if I fucked up in school and that report card, I couldn't buy them. I was hurt behind that. That really fucked me up because I was like, damn, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? I walked around the mall, buy hella clothes and shit, but she was like, you can get whatever shoes you want. Don't come home with those. Because if you buy them, you can't hide them. You ain't gonna wear them. You know what I mean? Like, my mom didn't fuck around, man. She is a great lady, you know, so that taught me if I wanted something, work for it. You know what I mean? But that's what I think a lot of people don't really take that far as the generation. Like every nigga I grew up with, they bought their own shit. Even when their parents can do it, they still did it themselves. I was just always good at, I guess what my therapist used to say, manipulating. You know what I'm saying? To get what I want. But I don't look at it like that. I did my part, do your part. You know what I'm saying? It's like a business transaction. So from that day forward, I looked at certain shit as a business transaction. Even with you got friends and shit, they want to borrow your shit. I'm charging. If you can't afford the charge fee, you can't have my shit. Because if you fuck it up, how I'm gonna get another one? And that go from everything to clothes, from shoes. You know what I'm saying? But the fashion shit was simple. Like if anybody that know me, I always had Jabot shit. Jabot, you know, y'all remember the clothes with strap on it and shit. I was the only nigga around that had that shit. I made that shit cool where I was at. You know what I'm saying? I was so cool with the nigga that owned the store. he gave me shit early. Yet again, this is for new people to the channel. You know what I mean? So it was always Jabos, fitted hats, and my J's. You know what I'm saying? I was known for that shit. And when I didn't do it, people looked at it like, whoa, what's wrong with D? You know what I'm saying? Like, he always fly. Like, what's good with that nigga? Like, why you tripping? You feel me? So it's like, I wasn't tripping. I just didn't feel like, going outside and for no reason to do nothing. But I had a stash of shit. So it's like one day I changed clothes 3 times in one day, and that didn't even hurt none of my shit. You know what I mean? I still had hella shit in the stash, but it was just proof point. I wore some shit to school, came home, changed it midday. By the time it was nighttime, changed again. And niggas really, like, it was so funny. The young niggas was like, my little homies and shit. You know what I mean? Like, my partner, little brother. Like, this nigga D killed y'all in one day. Like, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you have people that try to compete with you on certain things as a teenager, you got to do shit to shut them down. So, I mean, to some, it's like, that's an immature thing to talk about now. It's just a story. Y'all probably got amazing stories. I'm just telling you how I was. So, to explain to y'all, when you see little shit like this, it don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have money like that. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. But don't nobody buy shit for me. I buy my own shit. But I don't think I'm better than nobody, because I'm not. It's people doing way better than me. But they're concerned about little old me. I don't get that with people in life, period, that go through that. Like, you balling or you doing whatever, but you always got some shit to say about the next person that's probably, like, not so well off. That must mean you doing something right. To all the people that go through that they envy you for some reason. I always thought that shit was weird. Even with girls back then. It's like, why the fuck do you care if she like me? I don't even pay no attention. My whole life, I only stole one girl from one nigga. It's because he just kept flaunting her and shit. Like she was something she wasn't. I was only, 16? And it's like, she ain't shit. I bet I get her ass. I told my girl, the homie, I was like, yo, tell Pine, say what's up. Back then we rode bikes. You know what I'm saying? Like most teenagers do. You know what I mean? And I just slid through and was like, yo, as y'all say now, pull up. We used to say slide through. And that was just that. I was like, yo, get her a number. Got the number, started talking to her. She threw the nigga under the bus, and from there it was a wrap. I ain't smash her, though. I think back then I liked her too much to look at her like that. I ain't even fuck. I think I kind of, like, I fingered her and shit like that. But I can say I dropped the ball on that as a man. I kind of did. Because what the presentation was, it wasn't that. I thought, like, she was a sweet, innocent type, being young and stupid. Bitch was a freak. And I was like, You know what I mean? But I didn't really hold no grudge against her. I didn't fuck with her no more after I dipped to Job Corps. Came back, she tried to fuck the homie, and it was like, I don't care. I wasn't fuck with her anyway, but it's just the part that, damn, bitch was shady from the jump. I guess that's what the nigga was trying to basically tell me, which we talked years later. But it's just like, I don't know. And that's when the fucking Cherrywood 16s was out. I was trying to get them for my 16th birthday. And I was hurt because I went home. It was like, yeah, I'm going to be back with the J's. Job Corps, everybody talking, whatever. And it's like, I'll be back. And my stepdad was a day late. When he used to work at Avis or whatever, the people forgot something in his check didn't come. So I didn't know that, and I already had the money to go buy it the next day. And it was my birthday, so it was a birthday gift, so I had to spend my money. And if I would have known that, I would have went and bought them. So I went back and looked kind of ill because it was like, I thought you was gonna have a little light skinned bitch. I forget her name. She was from Poly Alto or some whack shit like that. But she had them, and then I felt like, fuck, why did I say I was gonna get them? I was gonna get them. And that's the day from right then I learned, don't say shit unless you already know you go do it. Like, if you know everything is lined up for you to do it, take the money.